Welcome back to Euro Football Daily. With 2021 just around the corner, let's take a look at 10 teenagers who are due a massive year. Let's go. 10. Yunus Musah. Born in New York and spending his early years in Italy before moving to London when he was 9, Yunus Musah was already a well-travelled individual by the time he left the Arsenal Academy in 2019 for Valencia, and since making the switch to La Liga as a 16-year-old, the youngster has flourished. Highly rated from a young age and able to play across the midfield, Musah impressed for Los Che's B team in 2019-20, but his performances in the Spanish third tier were largely ignored by then first team manager Albert Celades. However, Javi Gracia has quickly made him one of the key men at the Mestalla, with Daniel Vaz and Maxi Gomez the only outfield players to have racked up more minutes than the teenager this season. A highly impressive feat considering he only turned 18 in November, shortly after becoming the club's youngest ever goalscorer. His employers clearly hold him in high regard, recently tying him down to a 6-year contract which reportedly contains a €100 million buyout clause. And he's now a fully fledged international, making his debut for the USA in November despite appearing for England up to under 18 level. However, he's only played in friendlies at the time of recording, so the Three Lions could yet win him back, although that seems like a long shot right now. 9. Adil Aouchiche. Joining Saint Etienne from PSG on a free in the summer, Adil Aouchiche was undoubtedly one of the biggest steals of 2020, and in his short time away from the Parc des Princes has already proved himself as a regular starter in Ligue 1. The Saints are struggling again this season, with just one win in 12 games at the time of writing, and the third worst attack in the division, which makes Aouchiche's output so far all the more impressive. The attacking midfielder has quickly become Claude Puel's chief playmaker, creating 2.9 chances per 90, which, for context, is around the same as Neymar and Di Maria managed for the champions. Add this to 2.7 dribbles, more than Memphis Depay and Houssem Aouar, and 1.6 shots, and Aouchiche surely looks like a big fish in a small pond at the Stade Geoffroy Guichard. It's only a matter of time until he follows William Saliba and Wesley Fofana in bagging the French club a hefty profit. 8. Michael Olise. Having just turned 19, Michael Olise is at the age when many teenagers first get minutes for their senior side, but the French-born attacker is already carrying Reading to an unlikely promotion push in the Championship. Having trained with Chelsea and Man City before being picked up by the Royals in 2016, the youngster made his first team debut in March 2019, but didn't score his first goal for the club until this season. It was well worth the wait, however, with Olise striking home a sweet volley from 25 yards against Barnsley. And he's kicked on emphatically since then, ranking third in the Reading squad for goals with 3 and first for assists with 6. And it's his creative flair which has really stood out. The versatile playmaker is currently creating 2.3 chances per 90, more than Gio Reyna and Ansu Fati, and the same as Real Madrid's Rodrigo. A superb passer with excellent vision, Olise is already on set-piece duty for Reading, which, considering a quarter of their goals have come from corners or free kicks, shows just how important he is to their promotion hopes. A France under-18 international, Olise is also eligible to play for England and Nigeria. If he continues to perform at this level, expect both national sides to vie for his services. 7. Jamal Musiala. Born in Stuttgart before moving to southwest London as a 7-year-old, Jamal Musiala returned to Germany to join the Bayern Munich academy from Chelsea in 2019. And since spending much of his first year in Bavaria with the club's under-17s, his rise has been swift. Following German football's restart in the summer of 2020, Musiala made his professional debut for Bayern's reserve team in the third tier, and made his first Bundesliga appearance for the first team just 17 days later, becoming the club's youngest ever league debutant at 17 years and 115 days. And the young forward broke another record at the start of this season, becoming Bayern's youngest ever goal scorer, rounding off the side's 8-0 thrashing of Schalke on the opening day of the 2021 campaign. And despite 6 of his 8 appearances so far this term coming off the bench, Musiala has already netted 3 goals at the time of writing. The pick of the bunch, a sumptuous finish from the edge of the box against title challengers RB Leipzig. Musiala doesn't turn 18 until February, but is already making his mark on arguably the strongest side in world football. He's quickly turning into one of the hottest properties in Europe. 6. Pedri. Having only turned 18 in November, it's amazing to think that Pedri already has nearly 4,000 minutes of senior football under his belt, with nearly 1,000 of those minutes coming since he made the leap from Las Palmas to Barcelona in the summer. The Tenerife-born attacker has impressed this term, making the step up from the second tier into a faltering Barca side with little fuss, and looks a natural fit at the Camp Nou. He's already creating 1.5 chances per 90, a higher rate than Griezmann, Dembele and De Jong, and gets stuck in on the defensive end too, making 3.2 tackles and interceptions a game in the Champions League. He's also the leading presser at the club, with no one matching his 6.2 successful pressures a match. Considering he's been played in multiple positions under Ronald Koeman, this bodes well. An adaptable and technically proficient playmaker who, along with Ansu Fati, is giving the Culés hope for the future. 5. Youssoufa Moukoko. It may be a little premature to include a player as young as Youssoufa Moukoko on a list like this, but the Borussia Dortmund teenager could nevertheless have a 2021 to remember. Making his Bundesliga debut just days after his 16th birthday, the Cameroon-born striker became the youngest ever footballer to play in the German top flight, and recently broke Nuri Sahin's record as the youngest player to ever start in the Bully. Having come on in Dortmund's victory over Zenit in the Champions League, Moukoko now also holds the same record in Europe's premier competition, and despite his limited game time, has impressed so far. In less than 160 Bundesliga minutes, the teenager has already racked up 6 shots, and physically already looks ready to take on defenders over 10 years his senior, which is perhaps no surprise given he started playing for Dortmund's under-17s when he was just 12. The young star even signed a contract with Nike when he was 14, a deal which reports claim could end up making him €10 million. And having contributed to 48 goals in 28 appearances for the under-19s in 2019-20, expect to see Moukoko's name on the score sheet soon. 4. Tanguy Coulibaly. While Christopher Nkunku and Musah Diaby switched PSG for Leipzig and Leverkusen in the summer of 2019, another PSG youngster was also making his way to Germany. Tanguy Coulibaly was yet to make his debut for the French club's first team when he joined Stuttgart, who had just been relegated to the Bundesliga 2. The French forward played almost all his football in the 2019-20 campaign for De Schwaben's reserve side in the German 5th tier, but has become a regular in the first team since their return to the top flight, and it's no wonder. The 19-year-old has made quite the splash in the Bully, netting twice since he was moved to centre forward, with both his goals coming against Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. He's also impressed on the right and left flank, creating 1.4 chances a match and completing 3.7 dribbles per 90, a figure only beaten by the aforementioned Jamal Musiala in the entire division. One of Stuttgart's first pickups following the appointment of sporting director Sven Mislintat, Coulibaly is the latest in a long line of stars identified by the former Dortmund scout. 3. Jérémy Doku. Many of you will have heard of Jérémy Doku following his €26 million move from Anderlecht to Rennes at the end of the summer transfer window. But he's had a relatively quiet start to life in France, failing to score and registering just 1 assist so far. However, the Antwerp forward has nevertheless earned the trust of manager Julian Stephan, already racking up 15 appearances, including 6 in the Champions League group stage. As is expected from moving to a tougher league, Doku's shots per 90 have dropped from 2.1 to 1.8, while his key passes per 90 have dropped from 1.6 to 1.1. However, in the UCL, he averaged 2.5 chances a match, the second best average in the Rennes squad, and impressive given he was coming up against Chelsea and Sevilla. The 18-year-old is also a hard worker, making 2.4 tackles and interceptions a match, and coming away with the ball 87% of the time when he does make a challenge. He's also become an even better dribbler in Ligue 1, completing 3.8 take-ons a match and beating his man 73% of the time. With this kind of reliability on the ball, it's no wonder Doku has retained his place in the French outfit's first 11. I expect to see his performances rewarded with more regular goal contributions in 2021. 2. Florian Wirtz. A player we've talked about on this channel numerous times before, Florian Wirtz may have very much announced himself in 2020, but we'll likely see him get even better in 2021. And if he carries on at his current rate, Europe's elite could descend on him a lot quicker than they did for the man he's helping replace, Kai Havertz. It's no surprise then that the German club are working to tie down the 17-year-old to a long-term contract, with his current deal at the Bayer Arena expiring in 2022. Signed from local rivals FC Köln's academy in January 2020 for just €180,000, Wirtz is valued at over 200 times more than that at €40 million less than a year later. At the time of writing, he's already racked up 4 goals and 5 assists in 16 Bundesliga and Europa League appearances, averaging a goal involvement every 128 minutes. And as well as producing in the final third, with only Kerem Demirbay beating his 2.3 key passes per 90, Wirtz has also slotted perfectly into Peter Bosch's combative midfield, ranking third in the squad for successful pressures. A brilliant all-round attacking midfielder who already looks comfortable playing regular top-level football, Florian Wirtz is a superstar in the making. 1. Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones won't be a teenager for long in 2021, turning 20 at the end of January. But of all the youngsters to have broken into the Liverpool senior setup in the last year, the midfielder looks the most likely to become a key player at Anfield. Merseyside born and bred, Jones joined the Reds academy aged 9 and broke into the under-18 side under the tutelage of Steven Gerrard. There he caught the attention of Jurgen Klopp, who was impressed by his dynamism, dribbling ability and confidence, labelling him a proper Scouser back in 2018. 2 summers later, he was given the number 17 shirt worn by local predecessors Steve McManaman and Steven Gerrard, and is now making a serious claim to be a regular starter under Klopp. So far this term, Jones has played more minutes than James Milner, Takumi Minamino and €60 million man Naby Keita, and looks very much at home in one of Europe's best sides. His sheer ability on the ball and maturity was perhaps best displayed in the Reds' crucial victory over Spurs, as he completed more passes than anyone else in the field with 105, maintaining a 94% pass accuracy, while also firing off 3 shots, creating 2 chances and winning 4 aerial duels. With Jurgen Klopp's system requiring technically superb midfielders who can excel in multiple areas of the game, the fact Curtis Jones can already cut it alongside Henderson and Wijnaldum bodes very well for the future. So EFD squad, there are 10 Wonderkids who will explode in 2021, but who have we missed and shall we do a part 2? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that button right now and turn notifications on. Until then, we'll see you next time.